Imagine a world still fresh from creation, where the whispers of God were not distant echoes but palpable presences. Paint this scenario: two brothers, the very firstborn of humanity, standing before their Creator with offerings in hand. What truly transpired in that primal field? Why did one brother's devotion find favor, while the other's was met with silent rejection? And why, even to this day, do we grapple with the profound enigma of the mark placed upon Cain? A mark that seems to whisper both judgment and an inexplicable mercy? This is not merely a recounting of an ancient tale. This is an invitation to journey beyond the familiar, to peel back the layers of tradition and uncover the hidden truths and profound moral dilemmas that pulse at the heart of the story of Cain and Abel. Our mission here is to explore biblical narratives not just to read, but to feel, question, and discover their true mysteries. We're going to dive in together, seeking not just answers, but a deeper understanding of human nature, divine will, and the very fabric of existence, always anchoring our exploration in reverence and a search for meaning. If you feel called to go deeper into the stories of the Word, to unravel the mysteries the Bible subtly hints at, then stick with us until the very end. Today's revelation could change your perspective forever. The sun beat down on the fertile land, blending off the newly tilled earth. Cain, with the callous hands of a farmer, carefully presented his offering, the choicest fruits of his labor, a bounty from the soil he had worked with sweat and toil. Beside him, Abel, a shepherd, led forth the plump, firstborn lambs of his flock, their gentle bleating a soft counterpoint to the rustling leaves. A hush fell over the scene, heavy with anticipation. Then, a subtle shift in the air, a whisper of divine presence, a clear sign, unseen by human eyes, but felt in the very marrow of their bones, indicated God's acceptance of Abel's sacrifice. A palpable grace settled upon the shepherd and his offering, a silent affirmation. But for Cain, only silence. No divine sign, no gentle whisper, only the lingering heat of the sun on his back and the bitter taste of rejection in his mouth. His face, once hopeful, contorted into a dark mask of anger. His eyes, usually fixed on the earth, now burned with a resentful fire, fixed on his brother, on Abel, who stood bathed in the light of favor. The brothers walked away from the offerings, but the shadow of that moment clung to Cain. His heart simmered with a rage he couldn't contain, a poison that coiled within him. Later, in the isolation of the field, where only the silent earth bore witness, the unspeakable occurred. The first murder, a brother's hand raised against another, a life extinguished, and the innocent blood of Abel cried out from the ground, a lament that echoed through the very fabric of creation. The story of Cain and Abel is most commonly understood as the genesis of human violence, a stark illustration of the destructive power of jealousy. It's the foundational narrative that teaches us about the grim consequences of unchecked envy and the importance of approaching God with a sincere heart. We learn that while both brothers brought offerings, only Abel's was accepted, leading to Cain's simmering resentment and ultimately fratricide. This widely accepted interpretation emphasizes that Cain's offering was rejected not necessarily because of the type of sacrifice itself, whether it was produce or an animal, but because of the condition of his heart. When he presented it, it's a powerful lesson that God looks beyond the outward act to the inward disposition, valuing sincerity, faith, and a righteous attitude above all else in worship. The narrative then clearly lays out the severe consequences of sin. Cain is cursed, cast out, and condemned to a life of restless wandering. Yet, even in this judgment, a perplexing element arises, the mysterious mark of Cain. This is traditionally seen as a sign placed upon him by God, not only as a brand of his transgression, but also, paradoxically, as a form of protection, ensuring that no one would take vengeance upon him. This common interpretation has served for millennia as a moral compass, guiding countless individuals to understand the perils of jealousy, the absolute necessity of a right heart in their walk with God, and the inevitable, often painful, repercussions that follow disobedience and sin. It's a story that has profoundly shaped our understanding of justice, punishment, and the nature of human evil. But what if the story you just witnessed is far more complex and full of enigmas than simply a tale of sibling rivalry and divine judgment? What doesn't the Bible explicitly tell us about this moment, and what secrets are hidden between the lines, inviting us to ponder deeper truths about human nature, divine will, and the very fabric of existence? This is where our true discovery begins. Get ready to see this story in a light that reveals its true mysteries and their impact even today. Our first deep dive takes us into the enigma of the rejected offering. Pause. Why, precisely, did God reject Cain's offering? The biblical text itself is strikingly silent on this crucial point, merely stating that the Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. This ambiguity has fueled centuries of theological debate and speculation. Was it the nature of the offering itself, a preference for animal sacrifice over agricultural produce? Some ancient traditions, and even the book of Hebrews, hint at Abel's offering being superior because it was a blood sacrifice, foreshadowing the need for atonement. But is that the full picture? Or was it, as many contemporary interpretations suggest, the attitude of Cain's heart? The text implies that God saw something in Cain's spiritual state, a lack of genuine devotion, perhaps a begrudging spirit, or an absence of faith that marked his offering as unworthy. What does this silence tell us about God's discernment, and how does it challenge our own understanding of true worship? If you're enjoying this journey of discovery and want to keep unraveling the mysteries of the Bible, then click subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way, you won't miss any new revelations. Next, we confront Cain's hidden motivations and the genesis of evil beyond the surface-level explanation of jealousy. What were the deeper psychological and emotional currents that propelled Cain towards fratricide? The Bible offers a chilling insight from God himself. Sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must master it. This isn't just a warning, it's a revelation of an internal battlefield. What was the nature of this sin crouching at his door? Was it pride, a wounded ego, a feeling of inadequacy in the face of his brother's favor? We'll delve into the profound internal struggle within Cain, the insidious way temptation takes root, and how he, despite divine warning, consciously chose to succumb to these destructive impulses. It's like a small spark that, if left unchecked, can turn into an uncontrollable wildfire. This moment marks not just the first murder, but the horrifying genesis of calculated evil in humanity, a chilling blueprint for all subsequent acts of malice. Pause. What does this tell us about the human capacity for darkness and the constant battle we face within ourselves? Finally, we arrive at the ambiguity and purpose of the mark of Cain. This is perhaps one of the most mysterious and debated elements of the entire narrative. What was this mark? Was it a visible physical brand, a disfigurement, a tattoo? Or was it a spiritual designation, a metaphysical alteration of his being? The text states it was to protect him from vengeance, a paradoxical act of divine safeguard for a murderer. Pause. How can a mark of punishment also be a mark of protection? We will investigate the various interpretations, from ancient Jewish commentaries to modern theological perspectives. Some see it as a permanent sign of his guilt, ensuring he would forever be recognized as a killer. Others view it as an extraordinary act of mercy, demonstrating that even in the face of profound transgression, God's justice is tempered with a desire for preservation. What profound implications does this enigmatic mark hold for our understanding of God's justice, mercy, and the enduring nature of his presence? Even in the face of humanity's darkest deeds, it challenges our preconceived notions of forgiveness and punishment. Now, I want to pause and reflect with you. What enigmas has this story ignited in your heart? Given the ambiguities in the narrative, how might our understanding of divine justice and human responsibility shift when we consider the less explicit details of Cain's and Abel's story? Pause. It forces us to look beyond simplistic answers. In what ways do the themes of jealousy, unaccepted offerings, and the consequences of unchecked anger in the story of Cain and Abel resonate with modern human dilemmas and choices? Pause. Are we so different from Cain? And finally, how is the mark of Cain, a divine act of both punishment and protection, challenge our preconceived notions of forgiveness and the enduring nature of God's presence, even in the face of profound human transgression? Share your answers in the comments below. Let's grow together in understanding and the mysteries of the Word. The story of Cain and Abel, far from being a simple account of the first murder, is a profound tapestry woven with enduring mysteries. These enigmas do not diminish the Bible's truth. Rather, they invite us into a deeper, more personal engagement with its wisdom. They compel us to look beyond the surface, to examine the complexities of human nature, the subtle workings of sin, and the unfathomable depths of divine justice and mercy. Ultimately, this ancient narrative reminds us that faith is not about easy answers, but about engaging with the profound questions. It challenges us to look within, to confront our own internal battles with envy and anger, and to seek a heart of genuine devotion. It assures us that even in our darkest moments, God's presence, His justice, and His complex mercy are at work, leading us to a richer understanding of faith and our own journey with God. What was the most impactful revelation or question this exploration sparked in your spirit today? Let me know in the comments. If this video revealed something new to your spirit and made you see this ancient story with new eyes, please like it. Share this video so the depths of the Word can reach others who are also seeking to unravel its mysteries. And, of course, subscribe to not miss any new discovery and mystery we uncover together. This is your guide to the mysteries of the Bible, and I'll see you in the next revelation.